So Spirit wanted me to talk to you guys about fallen twin flames. And I'm in the boonies, so it's going to take me a minute to get back to where I need to be. This isn't a tarot reading, it's a talk about fallen twin flames. It's a difficult conversation to be had, but ultimately this is my goodbye, and I don't have any remorse about what I'm doing or regret. Disgraceful kind of relationship, which was to put me in a triangle. I had kept saying no, but my heart kept surrendering to the person, to where for 3 years straight in May I kept going back. In June of this year I decided that enough was enough. I put my foot down. I didn't know whether I wanted to stay here in New Hampshire or not, because I don't know anybody here really. I don't have any friends or family. So as I was a little confused and I had an opportunity which did not pan out, I went back home to Texas, and I decided that I missed New Hampshire, so I returned. But before I returned, I literally was visited. I was visited by my fallen twin flame, and he wanted to know where I lived. I wouldn't let him in my pants, and I would not have let him in my pants until he said to me that he was there to make love to me, that we were making love. So stupidly, I allowed him back into my life for a day. And it was beautiful. I'm not going to sit here and say it wasn't. It was beautiful. And then 3 or some weeks passed, and I'm friend zoned again. Why I'm saying all of this is because people need to know. Hi. People need to know what to expect from others, and how others are always willing to use you for their advantage. So when I originally met my twin flame, he told me that he was going through a divorce, and it wasn't something he wanted, but it was happening. Okay, fine. He was separated supposedly, as far as I knew. So I allowed that. But I should have known better. And you should see papers that are signed by a judge, by a lawyer, that say that someone is legally separated, just for protection for yourself, you know. I think I came the wrong way, but it's okay. I'm gonna exit here. So I may have to talk to someone that's in a toll booth, so please forgive me. But you know, it's not your job to help people all the time. It's not your job to fix anybody. And as a matter of fact, you cannot fix anybody. Even if you're a light worker like I am, you cannot fix people. You can't, my dears. The only person you can fix is yourself. The only person that you can help is yourself. The only person that you can move along in life is yourself, unless you have children, of course, and they're under you, as far as that they're still, you know, they're not of age, they're in your house, and they have to do what you say. You're directing their life. Other than that, you don't have any responsibilities towards trying to fix people or trying to make sure these people are okay. It's not your job. Thank you. You too. I went the wrong way, so I'm paying the toll. Oh well. So again, guys, it's not your job to help anybody. But out of the kindness of my heart, because I saw him as my twin flame, there were just too many coincidences. I thought he was my real twin flame. Whether he was or wasn't, this is what I'm going to tell you. A real twin flame can turn into a karmic. For those that study metaphysics, for those that are interested in the metaphysics, this is your kind of talk. If you're not into the metaphysics or spiritual community, you may or may not understand what a twin flame is. So what should have been a very beautiful relationship, he decided to tarnish and turn it into a sex act, and nothing more than a sex act, and began to treat me like I was just something that he was to use and abuse in a sexual way. And while I keep saying no, he keeps attempting to put me back into, I don't know, a call girl position, a position of a prostitute, a position of a loose woman, and I won't have it. I won't have it. So what happens is he becomes angry and starts telling me that we don't want the same thing. Okay. I think that's a great discovery. But on the same token, if you don't want me as your woman, if you don't want me as your number one, if you don't want me in your world as someone to love and to share love with, why do you keep looking for me? It's my theory because there is a pulling because of the twin flame. But at the same time, he's only serving to damage and tarnish what was once a very pure love from me to him, to now I don't even have remorse that this is over. I've blocked him yet again, and I asked him to not attempt to come to my channel because he knows I have a channel, and he came on the channel once. So he's serving to confuse himself, confuse me, confuse the situation, and truly he is a fallen angel. I'm sorry. We are the chosen ones, the ones that come here that are light workers. We are light beings in a body. And the only thing I had asked for from God to be able to endure all of this that I've had to endure in this lifetime was to have my twin flame to live out the rest of my life with. So you can imagine that when I found him in the most unusual circumstances, I was extremely excited. And I thought that he wanted the same thing. But all along, all he has done is try to deceive me and try to steer this into improprieties on my part. And while I feel that if you, I'm going to turn this around because it's so beautiful. Be ashamed if y'all didn't get to see what I see. While you may feel that you're in the wrong relationship from time to time, you might feel like you're not in love with the person you're with anymore. You don't have a right to turn me into some kind of prostitute, into your plaything, and then put me on a shelf when you don't want to play anymore, because then you have enough energy, which is my energy, which is clean energy, positive energy, God's energy, angelic energy, to go back and give to her or him when you don't want us anymore. You don't have a right to do that. You don't have a right to do that. If we give in to that, that's our bad. And that's why I'm having this talk today. Because many of us love so deeply, especially if you're a Libra. I'm an empath. So I love so deeply. I don't know how to love halfway. And a lot of my innocence has been robbed by this relationship, because I still had a little bit of innocence left to me because of who I am and what I am. But this person has turned and tarnished something so beautiful, a twin flame journey. He has turned it into something so atrocious that it's unrecognizable. There's nothing positive to be had here. While I'm feeding him, he's feeding her my beautiful energy. Sorry guys, this thing is hard to put back in the cradle sometimes. How is that feeding me? And that's my purpose today of posting this. I want you to understand that while you're feeding him or her, you're not getting fed, my dears, because they're using your beautiful energy to feed someone else with your beautiful energy so they can stay in that relationship. And all they're using you as is a sex toy. Is that what you want for yourself? Is that what you think yourself as? Thank you. Is a sex toy? I hope not. But in the end, if that's all you want to be known as, that's up to you, because this channel is for 18 and up. This is not a kiddie porn show. This is not so champa or whatever you're called, the association that is for children. This is not a child channel. This is not for children. So please don't come looking for me if parents don't have a grip on their children's YouTube watching. I'm serious, guys. Don't let people diminish you and pulverize not only your heart. Let's keep it real. Not only your heart has already been pulverized. I'm all too sure your heart has already been broken more than enough times that you care to admit by this same individual. So I'm not here to talk about your heart. Although if you have a broken heart from somebody who's stomped all over it and then can sleep at night or can at least smile to themselves, well, then I guess maybe you deserve it. I don't know. But I'm not talking to you about that. I'm talking about your spirit. I'm talking about your soul. I'm talking about salvaging that when they tell you that they're only here to take something from you and not give to you anything in return except a sex act, then your soul is in danger and your reputation is in danger. Is that what you want for yourself? God is going to take care of them in God's perfect timing. So I'm not here to advocate against witchcraft or sending out bad juju. No. As much as I abhor this person now, I abhor him because he's trying to hurt me by only trying to use me sexually. So where there was so much love, I can only tell you there's no more love in my heart for this person. He has more than found a way to kill it all. Like Roundup, weed killer. You know, you can spray that even on the cracks and crevices of cement and it kills the weeds from coming through. So much, it works so well, it even causes cancer. And now Monsanto is being sued for it. Turned into cancer, which should have been the most beautiful glowing light to match your heart and your soul. Because after all, when you sign on the dotted line in heaven, before you come down and before they decide along with you to be your significant other down here, because they're your soul tribe, they're part of your soul tribe, they're your husband or wife up there, but they decide to treat you like hell down here. You know what I meant to say, like ish. Then all I can say to you is it is time to release them. Let go, let God. Let God deal with them. Let God deal with them. It's not your fault. You tried your best. If they didn't want you as a significant other and did find an attraction to you, but that attraction, as per them, is only sexual, then that's cool. That is cool. That's fine. But you don't have to make yourself a party to all of that. And you shouldn't. No, I can't tell you what to do and what not to do. Some of you are not ready yet to let these people go. I understand that. Oh boy, I understand it. It took me 3 years. I'm almost there to the healing. If I was crying, I wouldn't be healed. I wouldn't be healed. And I'm telling you the truth. I like to be very honest. If I was crying right now, I wouldn't be healed and ready for somebody else. But now, because that person has turned themselves into a karmic relationship with me, with you, instead of being a twin flame, now they're a karmic relationship. I'm asking you, not telling you, I'm asking you and pleading with you to give it a thought. Just consider it. Consider allowing God. God can't send you another twin flame, but God can send you a soulmate that's just as good, and somebody you don't have to fight, to treat you better, to treat you right, to recognize you, to treat you with respect and dignity, and not just treat you like a sex act. And I'm here to tell you, I do believe you should get your rocks off towards your significant other. I'm sorry, I do. I feel like you should feel a lot of passion for your significant other. But that's not all you should feel. And if this man, if that's true, that that's all he feels for me, then he's not the one for me, and he is a false twin flame, and he is a fallen twin flame. And there's nothing I can do for him except let him go and just accept God bringing in a good, decent, honorable man who says clean things to me and doesn't expect me to be in a triangle. And that's what I'm saying is, I'm pleading with you. I can't tell you what to do, but I'm pleading with you right now as a light worker that if any of these things have happened to you, let go and don't let him come back. That was my mistake, is I kept letting him come back. Because I thought that when he would tell me these things, that there was hope. I thought that when he told me that we were making love, that that was for real. But now I realize that he only says what he has to say in the moment in order to get me to do what he wants. And then it's back to, you're just a friend. It's back to, we don't want the same things. That information, and I'm sure that anybody that runs across this video can probably attest to, this information would have been warranted over 3 years ago. It's been 3.5 years now. 3.5 years telling me we don't want the same thing would have been okay, would have been the decent thing to do. But you don't tell a person you love them to get into their pants, because you know that's the only way you're going to. And then put them back in the friend zone after that. That's diabolical. And I feel sorry for you when God gets a hold of you. That's why I don't lift a finger, because you are, and I'm talking to the cross watchers, I'm talking to these twin flames that are fallen. You have no idea what you've done to yourself. I will go on, and people like me will go on to have a good life. I will go on, and people like me will go on to enjoy life, and God will bring somebody good into our lives. You, on the other hand, oh my gosh, the things that are coming towards you, and not because I want them to, and it's maybe not even because of the people watching this video that have experienced similar things, want for you, cross watcher, fallen twin flame, but because this is what God is going to bring upon you. The wrath of God is like nothing anyone can fathom. Nothing. Look at all the plagues in the Bible, just as an example. The leprosy that came upon those people. And it wasn't during the time that there were a lot of lepers. It was the plagues that came. So I can't send out enough anger, resentment, bitterness if I wanted to, which I don't want to. And I hope Libra Collective and others that listen to this today, I hope you will not want to either, because they're not worth hinging. They're not worth soiling your spirit for revenge. They're not worth it. It's not worth it, I promise you. Revenge that you could extract as a human or having a human experience is nothing by comparison to what God can give them for the sweet things that they bestowed upon you time and time again. So please don't be in a hurry to send back the anger, resentment, or pain that you might be feeling at this time with good reason. I'm just myself, I'm flabbergasted at that someone who has been given so many opportunities to face the fact that they shouldn't be treating people this way still comes back wanting to treat people this way, namely me. So don't be surprised if you're hooked up with a twin flame and you think because you signed on the dotted line in heaven somewhere that they're going to adhere to their contract with you, or that they're going to see that you two belong together, or that they're going to understand the twin flame journey. It's one thing to say no and to have said it over 3 years ago. No, I don't want this with you. Thank you so much for bringing your love to me. I know you love me. I cannot love you in that way. That would have been different. But to continue to see you and continue to build lies, continue to build hope for what? In his opinion this morning, I was building hope and wanting to just sleep with him by contacting him. And these are the forms of contacts that I made, and I'm going to disclose them here so that you can see that he has no, I don't know, there's a loss of connection there between common sense of what people that care about you want for you and sexy talk. So what did I write? Take care of yourself. Don't be afraid. He came onto my channel. First thing he wrote was under DS. He came on under DS and wrote the word and then said, I'm afraid. So of course, being who I am and the type of person I am, I wasn't going to leave people hanging. I didn't really want to reach out, but I did. And when I did, I asked him if he wanted to talk. Again, please write in the comments if you think that's sexy talk, because that's not sexy talk. That's just me being humane to someone, and that's it. Because if you're afraid, I don't care what you've done to me, I still look at you as a child of God. So I'm trying to figure out if you're okay. Because I'm doing my gig here on YouTube. And you're coming to my turf, to my territory to talk to me. So then weeks passed because I'm not going to drown him on his inbox because he already had told me what he wanted. Where do you live? Do you live alone? It's his MO. Where do you live? Do you live alone? Can I come? And when he says, can I come? He means it two ways. And you know what I mean, because we're all adults here. No. What he doesn't know is that he could come visit me at any time. Purposefully, I've been telling him no, because I know what he wants from me, which is only sex. So that part of the discussion I took out of the equation so that there wouldn't even be a discussion about sex. But he keeps pushing it back to sex. So I waited, but for 4 days, I could not sleep. Hi, Sandra. For 4 days, as of today, this morning, I haven't been able to sleep. I don't know if you can tell. Hopefully it's not too bad. I've taken Benadryl. The first day I took a pill to go to sleep. I haven't even had to do that anymore because when I was working overnight, kind of like reset my circadian rhythm, I was able to sleep. But since he's been heavily on my energy, pulling on my energy, I couldn't sleep. So last night I sent him a message to please take some Benadryl. Why? Because again, this conversation topic is about a twin flame journey, and you have that connection. It's almost like, see how it almost looks like your spine? You're connected to this person whether you like it or not. Okay? I can't see. I'll put this on. Well, Sandra, you can only cut so far with the twin flame. With a soulmate or anybody else, you can cut as many cords as you want. But it's a little different. So I'm asking God to cut those cords because I no longer want to be a part of him. He has embarrassed me that I would have had that kind of emotional connection for somebody who has treated me like garbage, who has looked at me as a sex object. And look, I'm going to say this, and look, y'all have never seen me show my legs in shorts, even though I wear shorts often. You've never seen me with cleavage, except maybe a little bit. One shirt I wore, which I think it was you, Sandra, that said you liked the peach on me. I have assets that I can show. I don't. I'm a work in progress. I'm trying to lose the weight again. So if y'all think that my face is funny now, just wait till I start losing weight because all the skin's going to be loose until I can do something about that. Hey, don't blame me. It's called gravity. But I sit here today. Tomorrow is my birthday. Tomorrow's my birthday. The last thing I thought I was going to get was a text message from a fallen twin flame telling me to stop texting him. In other words, to stop giving him hope that he can get in my pants because it's not going anywhere. And when I wrote back and said, you chased me to Texas, told me that we were making love, told me you didn't want to say goodbye to me, then you friend zone me, then you come back on my channel, and I didn't want to say it at the time because I didn't want to blast him on YouTube. But David, you got to stop because you're embarrassing yourself at this point. I'm not a piece of garbage. I'm not a piece of trash. I hold myself clean and pure. If you couldn't hold me to that light, that's on you. But I don't have anything to say to you anymore. You've turned something so pure and beautiful that I felt towards you, and anybody that's here having a twin flame can attest that we give our all to our twin flames. And you have had so many opportunities, along with all the other people on here, with their twin flames, have had ample opportunity to change and to walk right. But you choose to stay. I don't care who you choose to stay with. That's not the point. The point is, you don't have a right to take us down with you. You don't have a right to use our energy to give to your significant other. You don't have a right to muddy something that we came and brought to you with all pure intentions and possibilities. So I do have sadness, but I don't have sadness because he didn't choose me. That's not where my sadness comes from. In times past, I will tell you, friends, that I had great sorrow because he didn't choose me. But that's not what I'm feeling today. What I'm feeling today is I feel sad that someone would think of me as nothing but a piece of vagina. And that's it. And that's it. I will say this one thing. And I didn't say this. I didn't write it. I didn't write it. It's in the Bible. The sins of the father fall on the heads of the children. He has 2 sons, 2 male children. So the same thing that he's living, which is being with someone that doesn't love him, you think one of those people, you think one of those children, God forbid, I didn't write it, it's in the Bible. I'm not wishing this upon anybody, but I'm telling you, the sins of the parents fall on the heads of the children. You think one of those children isn't going to end up with the same scenario he's living, with a wife that he doesn't love, but there's money, so he stays. And then he goes and treats people like me, like dirt, like we're just a piece of ass. I'm not a piece of ass. I'm somebody's parent. I'm somebody's daughter. I'm a child of God. And when I write to him, or was writing to him, it was with pure intentions of love and trying to send him positive energy, trying to send him positive words of wisdom. Up until last night, could you please take some Benadryl? What the last 2 things I wrote him was, don't be afraid, you're very loved. Because God loves us all. God loves us all. And then last night, because I wanted to sleep, I want to sleep. I'm tired, guys, because he's pulling on my energy. I wrote, could you please take some Benadryl so you can rest, because I would like to rest too. And all I put was LOL. What of any of that, guys, tells you as human beings that that's sexy talk? I'm waiting, because I'm going to read these comments. What about all of that? Thank you, honey. What about what I told him in these last days? It has anything to do with sexy talk? Taking Benadryl or excuse me, taking melatonin, is that sexy talk? Because you know, nowadays when you tell people that you want to cuddle, it means something else. Again, this is over 18 and up channel. We're adults. If you're here and you're a youth, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Please get off YouTube. I'm not here for these little kids. So again, can somebody tell me, is the mention of melatonin so that you can sleep, is that somehow sexy talk now that I don't know about? Is telling somebody that they're very much loved and not to be afraid sexy talk? If you ask me, the reason he decided to attack me today is because I won't give in to him. When I asked him if he wanted to go out and talk, that was last week, if he wanted to get together to talk. Because, you know what? For me, when somebody's going through a hard time, I don't mind being your ear and not giving advice, just listening. He said no, because he couldn't keep his hands off of me. That's what he said. That was his reply. No, I don't want to talk. And I don't want to just talk because I can't keep my hands off of you. If you're married and you want to stay married, do so. That's your right. But don't drag me into your little carnival circus. I'm not a clown. I'm not Jojo the dog-faced boy. I'm not the bearded lady. I'm not the strong man. I don't even want to be the ringleader. I don't want to be in a circus. How about that? I'm not a monkey. You know, this is disgraceful. So when they turn into a false twin flame, the only thing you can do, like Sandra said, is cut cords. So I'm asking God to cut these cords, because God is the only one that can cut them. I know how to cut them. I'm a high priestess in Wicca. I'm a high priestess in the Order of Odin. I'm a high priestess under Kalima. I am initiated to Santeria. A lot of y'all don't know that. I'm initiated, but I'm only half-seated. I'm initiated into Palo. So if you think that I don't know how to cut cords, oh, I beg to differ. I am very well versed. But I will tell you, hi there, but I will tell you that the only person that can cut those cords, being that could cut the cords for me, is God. So as of today, I have asked God several times, but today I most definitely mean it. I want nothing to do with this person ever again. Because in my opinion, they're very immature, and there you go. And it's not worth it. It's not worth my time, my effort, and it's delaying somebody beautiful coming into my life that can reciprocate what I want. And this man has even asked me from time to time to, okay, go ahead and have your life with someone else, and we can just meet on the side. No, that's not going to happen. No, that's not going to happen. That is a dangerous liaison. And his wife is throwing magic my way. Yeah, because she does magic on him to keep him. She throws magic to me because she knows when he's happy, he's been around me. She's not an idiot. Women are not idiots. Whether she's the one doing magic or calls out to somebody in India to do the magic for her is irrelevant. And her mom's behind it too. Because this man is uncontrollable. And not to say I wanted to control him. But she is going through all she has to do. No. But I know it because when I do my cards, you can see it. She comes out as the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Coins. She's powerful enough to keep him. To keep him confused, to keep him up and down. I love you, I don't love you. I want you, I don't want you. No, I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. That is sickness. It's pus in a wound. It's infected. And I don't want anything to do with that cancer. Nothing. My life, at this point of my life, this, like I told you guys, this is Libra season. Look at it as a new year. Look at it as something beautiful. A new beginning. Just like this rain. Washing everything clean. So that's what I'm asking. I cannot plead with you enough to think about your own life. Exactly. It is disrespect. I cannot tell you what to do. I can only lead by example. And I can tell you that just like Zandu 92 wrote here, there's nothing good that can come from being somebody's side piece. And it's disrespectful to yourself to allow yourself to be that. It's disrespectful for someone to come in and try to make you that. And again, I will visit the fact that if you have children and you're trying to do this to people, think about your children and how you're allowing your sin and your sinful ways to come upon them, because it will come back around. It will. And you know, when I did have hope that one day, maybe, possibly, I could be a part of those children's lives, do you think that that didn't cause me sorrow to think that this man could bring bad things upon his own children for the sake of making somebody his side piece? I have too much self-respect for myself to be that. And my mother and my father, rest in peace, who was a reverend, did not raise me to be somebody's side piece. He raised me to be a lady, and shame on him for wanting to make me nothing but a whore. When I keep saying, no, that's not what I am. That's not who I am. That's not what I want. I can understand that we don't want the same thing. But again, I have to go back to a simple fact. That is information that would have been useful 3.5 years ago. Not now. Now is just a carousel of you wanting to get on a ride, and this is not a free ride. My mom used to say, why are you going to buy the milk when you can get the cow for free? I'm not a heifer. I'm not a cow. I'm a human being. And that's it. Exactly. I am the child of the Most High. And I will not lower myself to degrade myself to become something that you sleep with, wash yourself off, as my mom used to say, and then go about your business. There's so many people in the world that want only that. There's so many people that want only that. And I told him to go look for that. Years ago, I told him, you're going to fall into a great amount of sin if you keep pursuing me and trying to make me your whore. Stick with the women that only want that, and that way you cancel each other out. You don't sin against them, they don't sin against you. Whatever you're sinning against over there in your home, that's different, but at least you're not sinning against each other, because she's a whore and you are a male whore, and that's all you want, is to get your jollies. So you're of the same kind. But no, he doesn't want that. He wants somebody clean from spirit, clean of their body, so that he can create a whore out of them. No, I'm sorry. That's not me. That's not me. I'm content to be by myself until God brings me a new soulmate. Somebody that is good. Somebody that is straight. Somebody that if they tell you they love you, they mean it. They're not just telling you that to get into your pants. But until then, I'm content to have you guys to talk to you guys to read for, you guys to have these talks with. And I'm not going to take somebody into my home, into my person, my temple, and for them to try to make a nothing but a wayward woman out of me. You're not going to do that. And you know, the funny part is, again, he doesn't know this, but he soon will. I've had the ability to have him visit me all this time. I have said no 3 times since I returned to New Hampshire, because I already knew what he wanted with me. I already knew that he wanted, hi sweetheart, I already knew that all he wanted was to get in my pants. And then I don't see him for 3 to 6 months again. No, that's not what God wants for me. God wants me to wait until a good man comes, a man that is just for me, and vice versa, to have mutual respect and dignity, to love each other in a beautiful way, to where there's nothing soiled about it. Yes, exactly. And I'm very much aware that he has an attachment, and that attachment, that evil attachment, I believe that that's what creates like a personality disorder, that like a multiple personality disorder. Yeah, because how can you tell someone you're in love with them? Last time that I was with him physically, he was kissing me on the forehead, and it was all about love. I mean, 3 hours worth of being together, and we just had a wonderful time. And then 3 weeks pass or so, and all of a sudden he's back to, yeah, I like the darkness and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, so that one's back. So either there's a multiple personality disorder going on within this man, which God bless him, or literally that demonic attachment is driving. I got chills when I said that, because I've seen the attachment actually. It's bad. It's bad. Sandra, it's bad. Especially if you're like me and you can see things. And I've seen it. And I guess that's why I felt so sorry for him too. Because we have to be careful as human beings what we ask for, We have to be very careful, very careful. Because once upon a time, he was going through something with his wife, where he felt alone and lonely, where he felt like she didn't love him, which is true. She stopped loving him. So being that I could see all that, I felt sorry for him. But at the same time, he gave a part of himself up when he allowed all that darkness in. And that's the problem with being a twin flame. You are part angel. So he gave that up to have women upon that's another thing. He thinks that I don't know that he has a lot of affairs. I mean, a lot. At one time I thought I was number 2 at least. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. There was one reading I did where there was 5 at least at one time. He wanted to make me one of those 5. That's why I said I'm not part of a harem. I'm not part of a harem. That's disgusting. That is already having an addiction, a sexual addiction. And I don't care whether you have a drug addiction or you have an addiction of any other type. Literally, it's an addiction. And it's going to drive you. It's going to drive you. It's going to be the driving force of your life until you get it under control and get rid of it. But with the attachment that he has, because he was so lonely and depressed eons ago, I want to say probably a good 8 years ago, when he allowed this attachment to take a hold of him, demonic attachment that forces him to have this sex addiction. This is all I've been dealing with for 3.5 years. I don't want that. At one time, I thought I could love all of this out of him, that I could help him to heal. I even wanted him to go to possibly, hopefully, within himself, to decide to go to counseling for that. But we all know how it works when people have addictions. They have to want to change. They have to want to heal from that. They have to want. Yeah, he's cursed, but he did it to himself. Just like the people in Hollywood and the people that are into music, that they sell their souls so they can have this. Well, he's used his powers for the wrong. Instead of attracting good and positive things and accepting a good woman in his life, he's used the way that he can attract things to him to attract women to have sex with all the time. So the other reason he stays in this marriage is because she allows it. She allows him to go play so long as he stays with her. So she doesn't control that part of him with the magic, but she controls him not divorcing. And I keep saying on YouTube, because I didn't want to tell him directly. But now that there's nothing left of this relationship at all, now that there's no way, that I know full well, there's no way for us to come together, he's one of the people that God has been telling me that there's a huge possibility that they're raising a child that's not theirs. He's one of them. But I couldn't find a way to tell him without him hating me, without him yelling at me, cursing my name, etc. But now I can say it. He's one of the males because they're of Christian persuasion. Do you know how many Christians come to me and want magic because they know what I do or what I can do? I would say 98.5% of the people that come see me and have asked me through the years for magic have been Christians. Diehard Christians that on Sunday are in that pew, are on that bench, praising God, being prayer warriors, and talking to others and just being a part of that community. But he thinks in his infinite wisdom that his wife couldn't possibly ask for magic. Well, he is wrong, because that's the reason he can't leave, because she has him so tight and bound. And it's gotten to the point And I'm sharing all of this with you guys because I'm hoping he's watching. Since he interloped into my YouTube channel that one day. I'm hoping he's watching. She's done so much magic on this person that he's not all there. He's a perfectionist. So when he speaks, even through text, he is a perfectionist and will even come back and correct whatever typo he made. Lately, he hasn't been doing that. Whatever he types, haphazardly he sends. And that's not him. So it's only gotten worse. Yep, she has scrambled his brain. And that's the way magic works. I would tell people when I was, because I'm not sitting here sugarcoating. I'm not sitting here saying I was such a pajecita. I was so good. No. I did magic before. And when people would come and ask me to bind people for them, I would tell them, look, you really don't want this, because the more that you do this to keep them bound to you, which is not something positive anyway, it counterbalances. What you end up with is somebody who loses their brain. It scrambles their brain. Do you want somebody that's with you but that's crazy? Do you want somebody that's with you but they're like a zombie? Because that's what they become like. And these little bitches would say, yeah, that's what I want. So long as he's not using his jollies, his little wand anywhere else, so long as he doesn't leave me, yes. I have chills. I have the AC on because I get hot, but now I have chills in my chest because the Holy Spirit is touching me in such a way. And I'm telling you that this woman has got this man to the point. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Of course I've seen the craft, yeah. And those things are real. Whoever helped them to write those scenes, they're pretty real. But I'm telling you, that's how smart this person is. He will refuse to see, and others like him, refuse to see that the wife could do anything, but he has to understand he's the one that brought having sex with others to the table. So she did it on one occasion when they were separated. She did it, and up pops the kid. But she's allowed him to raise that kid. Because there's been more off and on to this relationship than on. And I can tell you that with certainty. And that's why I was making videos to prove my point. Go to Walgreens. There's a home kit for paternity tests. As many kids as you have. That's why I kept saying, as many kids as you have, do one for each. Kids are crazy anyway. You know kids. Especially teenagers, preteens. Here, stick this in your mouth. They're going to ask why, but then they're going to be like, In minutes you will know whether you are the father or you're not, or whether there's a chance that you're not. I've been trying to be nice about it. I've been trying to let them down easy. I've been trying to not have them have their ego fall apart completely, you know? He probably doesn't want to know the answer. You're right. Because it is, from what I can see, it's a man that he knows and a man that he holds dear and near. It is a friend of the family. It is somebody that he's invited into his home from time to time. And the other man is married too. The other man is married too. But that's who she'd rather be with. She'd rather be with the father of that child. But the thing is, this one has the money. This one gives her everything. All she has to do is say, I'm going to tell your secrets. Or give me the credit card. Okay, here you go. Yep. And those are the people he trusts. But he doesn't trust somebody that came with a clean heart to help. He doesn't trust a person that came to just give love. To just give love. No, that's not good enough. I want the one that has the money. I want the one that has my children, which is understandable. But again, then leave the other person alone. You have no right to try to soil their life and to soil them. She is superficial. But maybe that's what he loves about her. And, so the funny part is that in her mind, she didn't do anything wrong because after all, he kept saying, we can have sex with other people. What he meant and what she meant were two different things. We can have sex with different people together. And she went and did it with someone else. And it was out of spite. Actually, it started out of spite because this person paid her attention and she was in pain from the marriage starting to fall apart. And so once she did that, she got pregnant, she didn't have a choice but to come back into the marriage, because what's she going to say to her Christian father, mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-laws, brother-in-laws, I got pregnant by someone else and that's why we're divorcing? Oh no. We're going to save face. And he stays because of the money. Because there's money involved. There's either some kind of dowry, there's some kind of trust fund. There's something that he would lose money-wise if he goes away from that relationship. Like I said, I don't have any love anymore, so I really can't, I don't regret saying any of this online. I don't. Because I've put up with enough. He's hurt me enough. He's done enough to me. And if that's what it is that, yep. Cross wearing, it doesn't have, that's why I asked one time in one of the readings that I was doing, one of the talks, if you're a psychic vampire, does the cross protect you? And the answer is no. The cross is not going to protect you just because you wear it. If you are a psychic vampire, psychic vampires take your energy and take your love and try to destroy you, while they use you like the Energizer Bunny type of energy to continue to live their life. Yes. If you truly believe and if you're truly pure, the cross is not going to protect you if you're not pure. If you don't repent. It's just not. So I pray that with this conversation that we've had, that some of you will be protected. That some of you would rather have your peace of mind and just keep it moving for your own good. Not because I don't want you to be with your twin flame. How many months, Sandra, Miss Shell, how many months they can tell you have I been doing these readings and praying that when I see the cross watcher trying to come back towards the Libra Collective, that it's the real thing this time, that they're changed, that they're coming in because they actually want something positive and pure with you, and that they're not going to play games anymore. They can tell you how many times in prayer I've been like, wow, great, these people are coming back. But if you don't want them, you don't have to take them back, because it's your right to say no. It's your right because you have free will. This is just really bad. But it's life. It's life. People, or should I say beings of light that are having a human experience, just like the fallen angels, can choose to be fallen. If it happened to Lucifer and all the angels that came down with him, and who even now, some angels choose to go that way. Some light workers. That's why I had been placing also those videos here on YouTube and saying, you're fallen. You can still come back. God will always welcome you into his fold. Always. Always, but you have to repent. That's why I kept saying that. Because a lot of the the chosen ones can fall too, because they use their gifts for themselves to make themselves rich. I'm not saying you have to be poor. That was old school. That was even told to me when I was up and coming, when I first learned about the metaphysics over 30 years ago. You can't charge. You have to live a very meager life. No, you don't. No, you don't. I'm here to tell you, no. Your father has cattle on 1,000 hills. You really think your father wants you to be poor? No. So it's hard breaking that mold in my life, but I'm breaking it because I deserve everything that's good for me too. I don't just deserve to be impoverished. Look at the Pope. Does he live like a king or does he live like a pauper? So no, you don't need to live here impoverished, but you don't use all your gifts for only you. This is my basket. This is my, okay, take some of your basket and share it with humanity. I do the best I can with what I have here on YouTube. So again, if you're fallen, you can come back to God, but don't expect to come back to the Libra Collective, because the Libra Collective doesn't really care anymore. Doesn't really care anymore. Now it's between you and God. There's no intercession for you anymore. Not from me. Now, all that love that I was pouring into myself, now all the care that I was, because I could feel him falling, because I could feel things happening to him. Even all of that is now mine to give towards me. And I hope that you all will do the same thing. Start giving to yourselves the same amount of love you were giving to them. Start giving the same amount of care and consideration that you were giving to the other person. Give it to yourself, because 9 times out of 10, it's all for naught. They don't want you. They want the one that treats them bad. That's who they chose to stay with for the love of money and other reasons. So don't sell your soul just because they have. Love yourself. Carry yourself with dignity, with pride. Be responsible towards your spirit, your soul, towards your temple. And let go and let God take care of them. Much love and light to you. I love you guys. I love you guys very much. And thank you for sharing your time here. Whoever this is going to help, it's going to help. I'm not here to push my views on anyone. But I will say that some people just can't have. You can't help no matter what you do. So it's better to leave them alone. Because all you're doing in the end is, remember, you keep telling them, just like a precious child of yours, don't touch, you're going to burn your fingers. The stove is hot. In the end, the person who learned the lesson about don't touch, you're going to burn your fingers. The stove is hot. Hopefully, in the end, if nothing else, you will have learned that you've been touching a stove that's hot, and you were never intended to touch that stove to begin with. So let that karmic twin flame go, so God can bring you a precious soul. Much love and light to you. We'll see each other again with tarot. Okay? Got to see if I can still keep working. Bye, guys. Thank you for coming, Sandra. I hope I'm pronouncing Zandu. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Shell and others that were here. Thank you for coming. Much love and light to you. Bye. I hope you enjoy the rain. I am.